Hey, what's up guys, it's Jack, and today I'm going to tell you how I memorize hundreds of algs, or just basically any alg in the blind realm. So I'm just going to leak out some world-class secrets, and I'll even show you like exactly what I do when I try to memorize new algs or go through old ones. So I think the main thing to know is that I pretty much use Anki for everything. Like, if you're only going to use like one learning tool to help you memorize algs, it'd be Anki. Like, you don't even need spreadsheet, which I know a lot of people do. I think spreadsheets are great for showing alg with other people because you can kind of see stuff a lot more easily. But the thing about Anki is that it's actually like functional. So it uses the idea of spaced repetition, where it's like in order to memorize things in the optimal way, according to science or something, like you recall like information like one day after you first learn it, and then a few days, and then a week or a month or something like that. But it gradually spaces out. And if you forget something, for example, like after a week, then it just goes back to a day again, and then the whole cycle repeats. But you'll see what I mean when I do this. So first of all, you download Anki. I'll probably put a link somewhere, but you can just like Google it. And then when you open it, it comes up with this guy. And yeah, as you can see, I've sort of separated my decks into like subsets. So like if you're learning 3-style edges or 3-style corners, I recommend just having a separate deck for each of them. And 4 blind wings or something would be another one. Maybe letter pairs or like images for letter pairs could be another deck on its own, but I recommend separating it like that. These are the algs that I'm reviewing essentially, and these ones are the new ones that I chucked in, I think yesterday. But these will make sense a lot later on if this seems like gibberish at the moment. Just for the sake of making an example, I'm just gonna create a deck here. So let's say you're learning, I don't know, 3-style algs, and you just starting off learning some algs for like the first sticker or something. I'll just call it 3-style corners or 3 blind corners test, just to differentiate it. Okay, so I'm just gonna steal an alg from this guy, Elliot Kobolansky. He's like really fast. I think I coached him like when I was trialing things back early last year, and he averaged like 24. Now he's like 18 or so. I don't know. He's probably faster than me, honestly, which is why I'm actually like taking my algs mostly from this guy. But anyway, let's say I wanted to learn this alg. I think it uses some different kind of notation from the usual, but whatever. So what I do is just copy that and just go back into this guy. So on the front, I need to change the deck as well to corners test, which is the one we're using right now. So on the front, you'd have the letter pair. So let's say for that one, it would be, I'll just use specs in this example, A, B. And on the back, you just like paste in the alg. Sometimes, especially if you're more comfortable with the algs and stuff and you're just like reviewing them perhaps, you might just put the setup in and you kind of already know what's going on. You'll see this later on when I go through my own decks. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just going to change this to like the usual notation because it just looks nicer. I'm so sorry, Elliot. Let me just chuck this guy. Yeah, that's what usual com notation looks like, but it's not a big deal. Anyway, you just click add. And yeah, I'll just put another one just for the sake of an example. Let's put in this one. And yeah, this would be a D in specs. I'm just not going to bother changing this one actually. I'm too lazy. And then add. And then once you add a certain number of cards, so if you're learning, let's say 5 algs per day, including inverses, which I'll go over later, I think that equates to like you being able to learn the entirety of 3-style in a couple of months. But anyway, just going out of this and into the thing. So I'll just go to this. So once you put in the new algs you want to learn, I recommend learning a set number of them per day, depending on the learning pace that you want to go for. I just put 2 because I'm lazy. And yeah, just click study now. So then the letter pair will pop up. So I've got A, B. If you're someone like, I don't know, me, who already knows alg super well, and you just like, you can't really afford to pause and solve without losing a crap load of time, then you pretty much want to try to recall it straight away, like without even thinking. If you're just getting into learning 3-style, like give yourself a bit of time to like, think about what the alg is and like where the pieces go, because that's totally fine. So yeah, I just know this alg already, so I'm just going to do it. So I recommend just doing the alg. I guess if you're new to learning 3-style, like check the position afterwards to see if you got the inverse case. So I'm checking the cube now, and I got B and A. And then you do the inverse case, so do the alg for B and A. So once you can do A, B, and then the inverse B, A correctly, then I count this as correct. So I'm just going to go to show answer. You can click on it or just press space. And 3 options come up. Could be 4, depending on, whatever happens. The only 2 you really need to know are again, which means like wrong, and good, which means correct. So just stick to those 2 for now. But if you want, you can do the others. So I got that correct. So I'm just going to click good. AD. So I know this alg as well, I think. So it's like that. And then I got the inverse case of DA, and I'm just going to do my inverse case, and that's good. And your answer. And I mean, just for the sake of example, I'm just going to click again, just to assume I got it wrong, even though I got it right. And just back to AB again. So once again, just do the original alg, the inverse, your answer, and yeah, I'm just going to click good now. The times above sort of represent when you're probably going to see the card again. So if it's under a minute, I'm probably going to see it like very soon. In a day means that I'm going to see this card again tomorrow. 4 days means probably around 4 days. But yeah, I'll click good, AD. And let's say I just messed it up before, but now I can do it. So I'm just going to do it. I messed it up again. So I mark that as wrong, but that's the only card left in the deck, so it doesn't really matter. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. Pretend it happened last time. And so I'm just going to do it again. So this is that case. Check for the inverse. So I got D at A. Boom, boom, boom. Easy peasy. That's good. This is the only card left in the deck of 2 cards, so there isn't much to do. Redo it. Check for the inverse. After a while, you can kind of tell if you get it right or not without really checking, which is what I tend to do. And yeah, that's good, and that's the whole deck complete. And that's how you learn algs, pretty much. So just for the sake of giving you more examples, I'll go through my own. So I have 4 new algs. I think I'm generally trying to learn around 5 per day. But every now and then I just get lazy and I just don't. Let's try the corners, because we just did corners actually. Or maybe... Okay, let's do corners actually, yeah. Has a variety of examples. So these are like the ones I'm reviewing, and these are the new ones. I've started learning like switching some of my standard algs to like rotationless, because I think it's a bit better, and I never got around to it because I was lazy, but now I am, so yeah. Anyway, study now. So this is what it looked like when I'm actually going through my alg. So you're getting world-class, exclusive world-class footage, which isn't exclusive anymore because this is all going to be on YouTube, but study now, BS. So I just did it, so BS and an SB, check. I'm like really familiar with the alg, so I have like a really vague sort of like, I guess, hint. But I mean, if you're learning this for the first time, you probably want to put the whole alg in. Maybe if you're not as familiar, just have like maybe just indicate like a D setup in this case, because for this alg, you do a D setup to the 8 mover. Because before I was just doing like that straight away. But because I know those both of the cases super well, I just put something random, like fast, whatever that's supposed to mean. But anyway, that was good. MF and FM. So once again, if you're learning freestyle algs for the first time, just take it slower. Just do the case for MF, or this is EF in SPEFs. I have a modified version. So just do like that, and then like check that you got the inverse case, so FE, and then do the inverse case. And then that'll be good. But once again, as you can tell, I'm trying to just recall like straight away, and I'm just like blasting through the algs. So just the original case and the inverse without thinking, because at like a higher level, you can't really afford to pause and think. So I kind of train myself in a similar way. In this case, I just copied the alg, I think. So yep, that's good. So that means I'll see this again in like 3 days, because I think I messed it up before. So yeah. I hit it here. So I should probably turn it a bit more this way. So yeah, for visual cases, I tend to put like a picture of it, because that's kind of how I recognize it in my head. I tried just posting the letters of the UD stickers of the twist. So in this case, it'd be like F and T, but that's not how I memorize it. So I found it's easier for me to put that on. Once again, if you're sort of getting into freestyle, give yourself more time to recall the alg, but I'm being pretty hard on myself because I can't afford to pause really. So I'm gonna mark this as wrong. So this is just like a combination of 2 algs for a 3 twist case. So again, TJ. Yeah, so for this alg, I think the standard algs would do like R2, or like, hold on, like this thing. I forgot what it was. But I don't know, I just found that alg and I just liked it. I'm pretty sure the good blinders are gonna like roast me for this, but like I tried like the other standard alg that people do, but I couldn't do it properly. So I have this weird like rotation thing where it's like D prime setup and you rotate. Yeah. I messed that up, but I'm just gonna count that as correct because I didn't really. I think that was fine, yeah. So I'll press it as okay. So that, and yeah, just got the inverse case for this free twist. I think before I was taking photos of the cube, but then I kind of realized I could get a virtual cube to do the same thing. And that's the inverse, so that was totally fine. Well, what happened? Whoops. That's good. That's gonna come up in 20 days. SB. And I know like you kind of go through the inverse anyway, because you might have seen I had BS before, but I tend to put the inverse in anyway, just to make it sort of consistent. Because then I sort of practice associating like the words letters SB with that alg. Whereas in the previous case, it only came after practicing BS. So yeah, that was fine, so that's good. So yeah, that was me just doing another 3 twists, so that alg and the inverse. It's really the same thing over and over again. That was good. And yeah, that was fine as well, because I just know the inverse of yi is df, and I just rotate that one. This is just like an LTCT. Good. Ly. Okay. Oh wait, whoops, I messed up. So in this case, I messed up the inverse, I think. So ly, I think I got that right, and then yl I messed up. Yeah, this is just a recent one. So if I mess up the inverse, I still mark it as wrong. I'm a bit harsh on myself, but yeah. So ly was right, yl was wrong, so I'll mark it as wrong. So again, jt. So yeah, once again, I tend to put the inverse in anyway, even though I do the inverse right after doing the original alg when I execute the letter pair. Good. That's fine. So in this case, yeah, so that's good this time. So in order to memorize 3 twists, I tend to memorize like, I make like a small image to sort of memorize like the combinations. So this one is like OD and IW for me. So it's like an odd, IW is like Steve Owen for me, so like an odd Steve Owen. And the inverse is like, I swapped like the letters around. There might be some better commutative combination, but I mean like, every specific 3 twist combination doesn't come up very often, so it more so has to do with the fact that you can like recall it quickly and it's like reasonably fast, at least in my opinion. So yeah, that's good. Did this already. That was fine. Ly. Okay, I got that right. And that's it. Yeah, I think it worked pretty well for 3 blind because I don't know, if you're doing this for like OLs or something, you'd have to pop up a picture for all the OLO cases and then memorize the inverse. It could still probably work. I haven't really heard of people doing that, but yeah, I use this to memorize all my algs. I don't really use anything else. I know Michael Tripodi, who's like very likely going to steal my multi-blind OCR next weekend and probably other records down the line. He's getting really good at blind. Like a 244 blind is first comp as well. And I think he's using Anki as well to sort of memorize new algs and revise new ones. And he said it's like awesome. So yeah, definitely try to use Anki in your freestyle/alg learning endeavors, especially in the blindfolded event. I don't know about the other ones, but it's probably useful there as well. And that's about it. Be sure to like and subscribe for more hot content. Hit me up using the form below for one-on-one coaching to get faster at cubing. Yeah, that's it. Have a great day and bye.